The G20 meeting has kicked off here in Srinagar. I'm being joined by Union Minister Jitendra Singh as also man of the soil. Many thanks for joining us here on India Today. Pleasure, but also this comes at a very difficult time that we are hosting the meeting and you're seeing massive representation. What's your take on the countries that are that have decided not to attend and those who have decided to attend? Is this an endorsement of Kashmir being an integral part of India?
No, I think you asked too many things. Let me begin from the last point. As far as the Kashmir being an integral part of India is concerned, I think that's not a question at all. That's not an issue at all. It's just because some of us keep talking about it. Jammu and Kashmir is as much a part of India as any other state or union territory of India, so I didn't think it hardly needs to be discussed at all. I don't know what creates that kind of a doubt. And now if you have Pakistan in mind, of course Pakistan did reconcile to Jammu and Kashmir being part of India since 1947, and that is also their domestic problem because they have to keep the Kashmir pot boiling, whoever be in the seat of power in Islamabad. But that doesn't make difference because if you go through the masses there, even the masses in Pak occupied Jammu and Kashmir would in heart of heart like to be part of India. So that apart. Now as far as the G20 happening in Jammu and Kashmir is concerned, first, let's realize we have 60 locations across the country. One of them is here. The participation has been to a larger scale compared to most of the other destinations. So I don't think anybody not participating is not participating because of certain motives or certain other reasons, because it also depends on the subject. Here the subject is tourism. So some of the countries may have a bigger stake in tourism, others may have a lesser stake, some may have less of interest, some may be having their private sector more into it, and they may be sending or facilitating their private sector being a part of it and not officially. So I think it's a larger perspective which is to be taken. What is important is that virtually every country, both from the list of the invited countries as well as the list of the G20 countries, was found over here very enthusiastically coming, and today, as you saw, the side event being films, and I think the film theme is also, filmmaking has also got universalized over the recent few years, and Kashmir is one location which is a cost-effective destination for filmmaking. You have the plateaus here, you have meadows here, you have the fountains here, you have lakes here, so you have tulips here, so you don't have to travel all the way to Holland or the European. In fact, after 1989-90, when suddenly got halted, many of those filmmakers who were shooting in Kashmir Valley found it difficult to find alternate locations elsewhere. So I think it's a natural destination. We hardly need to promote it, but it's just to prove the point which was sought to be falsified by certain quarters, that look here, Kashmir is not the right place to be visited so far. But I think that also stands apart because we have had film shootings done by some of the leading producers even in the last 1 year.
You spoke about film tourism, and that's the projection. We've seen Ram Charan, who's come here and endorsed Kashmir being the most beautiful place in India to shoot. But when you're talking and inviting industries, whether in India or from abroad, could there be concerns? Could there be concerns with regards to what Pakistan has been peddling, or the reports on human rights, so on and so forth?
No, see,
that apprehension from other industries?
The industry or a wise businessman would not go by what Geeta Mohan says or what by Dr. Jitendra Singh says. If he's shrewd enough, if he's a businessman to the core, he'll have his own instinct and whole sense to see where he can make profit without any hassles. And that is what now Jammu and Kashmir is emerging as a destination, because we have a huge lot of unexplored area, the huge Himalayas here. Now, do you know the Purple Revolution, which is being discussed all over the country, was born over here. We have two townships. One is just close to the place we are sitting, that is called Gulmarg. The other is Bhadrawa in the other district. And now it's attracting startups from as far places as Karnataka. Because they find, I didn't go there to motivate, nor did you. So are you here today. So they are, regardless of what the so-called human rights lobbyists say, regardless of whatever anybody says, when they find the milieu compatible to their kind of stakes, they would come in. And that's what is happening.
India has made its pitch. Let's see whether the world will come in and whether there are takers across the world. In Srinagar, Geeta Mohan for India Today.